Imagine wearing the most expensive winter jacket in the world, owning the best sleeping bag, and having survival training under your belt. Now, picture yourself dropped into the middle of a forest at -35 degrees with no heat source at all. Within a few days, your body would likely stop shivering, your mind would slow down, and hypothermia would quietly take over. Yet around 2,000 years ago, for the Germanic tribes living across the frozen lands of northern Europe, these conditions were simply a normal part of winter. There was no central heating, no synthetic thermal clothing, and none of the comfort technologies we rely on today. Still, these people didn't just survive, they managed to live in the same harsh environment for generations. Their secret wasn't technology, but adaptation and harmony with nature. When modern humans face cold, we change the environment. We turn on heaters, improve insulation, and retreat into warm spaces. The Germanic tribes had no such option. When winter arrived, forests froze, rivers turned to ice, and winds cut through bone. So they had only one choice: change themselves. One of the most surprising examples of this adaptation was living in the same structure as their animals. At first glance, this may seem strange, but it was actually an incredibly intelligent, passive heating system. Large mammals continuously produce heat through metabolism. An average cow maintains a body temperature of around 38 to 39 degrees Celsius and releases heat comparable to a small electric heater throughout the day. Imagine several cows, sheep, and people inside a thick wood and clay house. While deadly cold rages outside, the heat produced by living bodies accumulates inside, turning the structure into a biological heat capsule. What modern architecture calls passive heat gain was practiced by the Germanic tribes without technology. But the true power of this story wasn't in their homes, it was in their bodies. The real defense system of the Germanic tribes was their physiology. Today, when most of us encounter cold, we quickly shiver, avoid exposure, and seek warmth. However, populations living constantly in cold environments develop cold acclimatization. During this process, the body increases brown fat tissue to generate more heat, strengthens vascular constriction and dilation responses, teaches metabolism to adapt to environmental stress, and shifts the threshold of cold perception. In other words, their bodies weren't fighting the cold, they were adapting to it. Just as modern people build muscle through exercise, Germanic bodies developed thermal resilience through environmental stress. This reveals a striking paradox. As comfort increases, resilience decreases. Today, indoor temperatures remain stable year-round, which weakens the body's thermoregulation system. The body no longer learns to produce heat efficiently, challenge vascular control, or activate adaptive responses. As a result, modern humans possess safer, yet more fragile biology. For the Germanic tribes, cold wasn't an enemy, but a constant teacher. Moreover, this adaptation wasn't only individual, it was social. Living in longhouses where people stayed physically close and often slept collectively provided a strong thermal advantage. Close human contact reduces heat loss, lowers nighttime hypothermia risk, and minimizes energy expenditure. Although individual sleeping spaces are normalized today, for most of human history, communal sleep was a survival strategy. Diet also played a critical role. The high-fat, high-protein diet of Germanic tribes may seem heavy from a modern perspective, but it was ideal for cold climates, because in such environments calories are not just energy, they are heat. Fat tissue serves as the primary fuel for sustained metabolic warmth, meaning nutrition naturally adapted to environmental demands. Psychological resilience was another key factor. Long winter nights, limited sunlight, and isolation could challenge the human mind, yet rituals, strong community bonds, and shared living strengthened psychological endurance. While modern individuals often confront stress alone, historical communities faced stress together. Today's survival culture is largely gear-focused. We search for the best jacket, the best tent, the best sleeping bag, but the Germanic approach was system-focused. Biology, architecture, social structure, nutrition, and behavior operated in harmony. That is why a modern person may struggle despite advanced equipment, while they built sustainable lives with simple tools. Perhaps the most striking truth is that the Germanic tribes were not superhuman, they were our ancestors. This means their adaptive capacity represents the natural potential of our species. In the modern age, this potential may be dulled by comfort and artificial environments, but it has not disappeared. The human body can still adapt. Metabolism can still learn, and the mind can still develop resilience. The secret of surviving -35 degrees among the Germanic tribes was less a technique and more a philosophy. Working with nature instead of fighting it, viewing animals not only as resources but as thermal partners, living community not just as a social structure but as a biological shield, and treating the body not as a comfort-seeking system, but as an adaptation machine. Modern humans may appear strong through technology, yet our ancestors were strong through adaptation, and perhaps one of the most valuable survival lessons for the future is hidden in the past. Because heat does not always come from fire, sometimes it comes from proximity, from the quiet work of metabolism, and from the invisible warmth of a cow breathing on the other side of a wall. If you want to keep exploring forgotten survival secrets of humanity, the remarkable adaptations of our ancestors, and the skills modern life has made us forget, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because in the next video, we'll uncover another story emerging from the depths of the past.